Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and looking good. And let's see, we got this one and that. Put it on normal for that one. And we got our microphone good. Let me just double check this and make sure we are good. All right, we are good. All right, things are looking good. I haven't did a haircut yet. I'm about to go home and do that. Get a nice little cut up right here. Not cutting everything off, but I'm gonna shape this up, shape all this up. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. So, oh, that was a good shot. Yeah, very good. That was a very good shot right there. You too. All right. So, just want to make sure we get everybody in here. Talk about some stuff, gaming stuff. Got some topics. Well, it's not really a lot of topics. It's only one topic, main topic. Because I sat there, I said, "There's no point in me trying to make a whole bunch of bullet things. I think we should. I'm just gonna put this in general, because we're like halfway in. We're in we're in what, June? Yeah, so we're in June. We're 6 months into the gaming industry in 2024. And what are my thoughts about it? What are my opinions? What are things that I thinking about and stuff, with all the state of plays and everything else. So I figure, why not change a little bit of a change of scenery? I'm out here in this nice, beautiful looking park. I think if you actually see, if I turn the camera, you can see how beautiful this looks. You don't see the city. If I was out in the middle over here, if I was out in the middle over there, you probably would have seen the city. But it's still a nice view. I love it. Looks great. Being outdoors out here looks fantastic. So, yeah. So I figure I should just go to the park, talk about some stuff. Hello, how you doing? Whew, it is beautiful outside, man. It is very, very beautiful. It's very nice. I sat there, I said, you know what? I should do a live stream at a park and do some of this gaming topics and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I'm outdoors. I'm chilling. I'm enjoying the weather. The weather is fantastic, and it really is a nice day. It's not too hot, not too cold. Thanks, appreciate it, and everything. Oh, it feels good. So, excuse me with the swaggly beard. I will be making sure that I'm gonna get myself cut up because I got me and my friend from the job, my coworkers at the job. We're gonna be going out to a restaurant on Sunday. It's like 6 p.m. I got a live stream I gotta do for the Xbox showcase, and that starts at 1 p.m. Probably ends about 2 p.m., which that's fine, and that gives me some time to like get over there and do other things. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty busy, man. Bro, busy. All right, now let's get into these topics. Let's talk about it. First thing first is, um, how have I been in terms of the gaming, and what I'm playing right now and stuff like that, and what I'm enjoying right now. Currently, I will say I'm still playing Starfield. I'm starting to play that. I'm modding. I'm modding it, and it's really good with the mods and stuff like that. I'm still waiting for the creation kits for it and stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. You can, if you want to ask a question, you can ask the question. But yeah, but the gaming stuff. Oh man, will he be reading it? I think first. All right. So far in terms of what I'm playing, yeah, Starfield. I'm playing with the mods right now. Um, it's so far it's been pretty good. The modding and stuff like that been good. I'm loving it. I know the creation kits is going to be coming out soon, so I'm just like I'm still waiting for it. I know Bethesda has put up an update in May, and given that, right, given that fact that we know that Starfield is coming out, they're gonna have this. I think it's that. What's that? I think they had the update coming out soon, so they're gonna have the update coming out soon for that, and that means that thing is gonna break, so I'm gonna have to play the vanilla version, but that's okay. And so that's what I've been playing. Starfield. I still playing Forza Horizon 5. I already uploaded on my channel. I think I did 25 laps straight in Forza Horizon 5. I'm gonna do another 25 laps probably like the next 2 weeks or so. That's what I'm gonna be doing on the Mexico track. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, and I've taken a break from Cyberpunk 2077. I still want to go back and still play Cyberpunk 2077, finish that up, and move on. And so then, because there's going to be games just coming out just like back to back to back. There's just so many games back to back. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be mega crazy. So that's what I've been playing so far. That's what I've been doing so far. Other than that, been playing those games. Been playing. I think like yeah. So pretty much those are the main three that I'm messing with. So again, I haven't beaten Starfield. I'm just taking my time with Starfield. It's just so good. It's just so much fun. And just making it so difficult now, like the game makes it very, very difficult. Oh, makes it even better. So much better. Okay, so let's get into that main topic, right? The gaming industry so far in 2024. We're halfway in. What are my thoughts about it? There's so much shit. Like in the last couple of weeks, I haven't even gotten to like making a video or did anything, and I haven't did off the top in about a couple of weeks now. Because I've been busy doing other things. I've been working late, doing other stuff. So I figure I said, well, you know what? Today is a nice day. It's beautiful. I didn't want to do a stream in the car, and I said, let me just go out to the park and talk about this stuff for the next 2 hours and stuff, getting all of my thoughts and my opinions and what's going on about it, like talking like more legitly like a one-on-one thing rather than doing a salt video making fun of somebody else and stuff like that. And it really takes the energy off of me. And I got a salt video coming up probably next, not this coming week, but the following week with Dreamcast guy. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So we got that going on. Now, knowing seeing what we see so far, right, in terms of like, let's just start off with the showcases. The showcases for for me, right, when we talking about state of play, which I call it the state of disaster, right? Which it was. I know a lot of people trying to um, was trying to cope or something like that or whatever, right? I'm like, look, I I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like even for everyone out there, again, like when I look at these showcases, my expectations of each of these showcases, no matter if it's PlayStation or Xbox, my showcases, my expectations is right in the middle. I don't make some outlandish, like some crazy claims or something like that of like, oh, PlayStation got to be like da 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 da. And let's say they didn't reach it, then I'll be disappointed. But I'm not putting my expectations so low that I'm just coming in there disrespectful, like, PlayStation just ain't got shit going on or blah blah blah, right? Like again, PlayStation has games and they work, they play, and they sell. Yes, they do, right? Um, but in terms of this time period that we're seeing in 2024, I don't think those games are hitting the same how it was back in the PlayStation 4 generation. Back on the PlayStation 4 generation, it hits differently. It hits differently because of the fact that it was, for one, the games back in that PlayStation 4, the console was great. Xbox Xbox One generation was a disaster, and PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation brand and Sony capitalized on it and copy what they did in the 360, and the rest from there they took flight, right? And making all these games and stuff. Now we're entering into the new generation and we're heading towards the tail end of this generation. We're entering into the tail end of this. Like we're going from here to here. So at the tail end of this, it's not it's not feeling like the same how it was in the PlayStation 4 generation, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel the same. Going into the PlayStation 5 generation, I was hoping that we will see some type of new IP, announcements, something that is actually good for once. I don't care if it's just like they came out and said, hey, we are upgrading our software security. We are making sure that our brand and also people's data and their whatever are being protected. That's like, people want to hear. They want to hear something like that they are making improvements, and not just in the gaming side, but it's also in the software side as well. Because that whole debacle in terms of the PlayStation 3 generation, with the whole leaks and data leaks, a lot of people credit card got stolen, a lot of people's information got stolen. So once that debacle happened, and I guess it was also, if correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that the multiplayer network, or the PSN network was out, so you could even play or jump into any multiplayer games that they had currently coming out. Which, again, it was Mag. Mag, when that game came out during the PlayStation 3 generation, and then when that whole debacle happened, it just made it even worse that that game didn't even live up to like long-term success because of Sony's lacking in terms of, again, updating their software security. They still got that problem in 2024. They still got that problem. The data been leaked, the Spider-Man leak, the Wolverine game, and the alpha. Not even, I don't even think, yeah, like pre-alpha gameplay footage was pretty much was leaked, and it was playable. It was crazy, and a lot of their information got stolen and stuff like that. It was terrible. It was terrible all around. Very, very terrible. Very, very, very bad. To say the least. It was bad. So without that being said, right, we move past that, right? When I go back and say, like, my expectations from that showcase was in the middle. I was trying to be more fair towards, like, I was hoping some type of an announcement, like again, maybe a remake of Mag, or maybe a remake or remaster of an actual first-person shooter game, something along those lines. Something along those lines. It's not. It wasn't. It wasn't like I was trying to ask for something that is unattainable or something like outrageous. Like I'm expecting like 10 games or 5 games announced at the PlayStation Showcase, or the State of Play, or not the Showcase, but the State of Play. I'm sorry, the State of Disaster. I was hoping for something like that, something reasonable, and they didn't even deliver on that. And because looking at the showcase, and I saw it, and I said, this is definitely not PlayStation at all. Now, granted, I want them to make money, and they should be making money and be successful. Xbox already has enough money. They are $3 trillion. Xbox and Microsoft are making money. They don't need no more attention. They don't need a whole bunch of like bad press, good press, whatever, or putting pressure on them. They're all set. Leave them alone. When they effed up something, then let the Xbox and that community be on it. You know, let them handle that. And then I want to hear about the PlayStation fan base, right? The real fans, not the fanboys that be regurgitating and accepting the slop. I don't want that. I want real PlayStation fans that are speaking out and saying, why did you cancel the Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer game over Concord, which is a hero shooter game? Again, I don't have a problem with hero shooters. The game looks whatever, and it's going to play well. Like, I don't know how it's going to launch or run because they haven't made a first person shooter game nor multiplayer game since the PlayStation 3. So I don't know how their networking structure or whatever is going to handle that. I don't know. But if it's going to handle well, just like how we see in Helldivers 2, then I might have some hope that this game, Concord, is going to release fine. It's going to play well. The biggest problem is the fact that it was lacking in visual appeal. And when I say a visual appeal, I don't mean it in a way like, oh, it got to be looking like Hellblade 2 or some crazy looking graphics like the Last of Us or Horizon. I'm not saying that. It doesn't need to be on that type of level. More realistically, when I say visually appealing, I think a lot of people, if I can speak on behalf of everyone over there at the PlayStation fan base, they will much rather see The Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer to actually get a to get a spotlight and a release, because it's more gritty, it's more dark, it's more like it feels, to me personally, I think a lot of people have missed this, but the fact that the game feels like a threat. So it feels threatening. It feels like, when you play this game, you're fighting for your life in the multiplayer, because again, you're not the only one that's whatever, because you know the other team is trying to kill you. So it makes it feel more engaging versus Concord, that this looks like this hero shooter, whatever, cinematic, whatever, and it's going to play the same like Overwatch and every other thing. I'm not going to say it's like nobody's not going to play it, but I don't think, what I'm saying is that PlayStation is not going to get the same sales numbers in terms of like the same sales as Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is something that is visually appealing because again, even though it's a cooperative type of game, right? It's no PvE, it's no player versus player, PvP, whatever. It's not like that. But given the fact that it's a cooperative, game, like, cooperative, right? Sorry about that. Just got to turn. Okay, so if it's cooperative, right? But the visual appeal was the fact that it's gritty. It looks, like monsters and stuff like that. You're fighting for your life in that game. Like, it feels like it's a threat. There's something to fight for. There's something to gain with, and that's the problem. Like that Concord game is not it. So that's what I mean by it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. So like again, I want PlayStation and Sony to make money. They're like again, these consoles, no matter which one you pick, whether you pick Xbox or PlayStation, PC, Nintendo, all of this gaming stuff, these corporations are in the business of what? They're in the business of making money, right? And that's the truth, and that's a fact. I accepted that. I know that. But the only way you're going to make money is that you're going to have to really listen and put your ears to the ground and visually see what do the fan base are looking for and what do they want. You get what I'm saying? That's how you make money. You can't just make money just based off of just, what the investor says, what does this person says, whether you have, like business in, whether you went to a business school, you got a degree or something like that. That's not going to draw in money. People out here, they're living their everyday life, right? They're working, they're paying bills, they going out to the movies, going out to parks. They're more outdoors. You know what I'm saying? They more out and about type, right? So, man, they're really playing some music over there, huh? They're playing some music over there, but I'm at the park. It's so nice. Yeah, they got an event over there. So, back to what I was saying. Basically, that's basically like, like if you follow what these people want and do, then you're going to get the money that you're going to get. You just do whatever you want to do, and you think like, oh yeah, we know our fan base, but you clearly don't. You're not going to get that money, and clearly they want money. So I know the pony base over there, they're pushing the goalpost yet again because of the whole Horizon. I think it was what, Lego Horizon Adventure. Even though Lego Horizon Adventure is and again, the Horizon franchise is a Sony IP franchises, and they allowed them to make a Lego game, and it's going to be coming out on the Switch. So it's not just going to come out on the PlayStation and PC; it's coming on the Switch too. That makes sense. I'm not mad at them for doing that. I'm not mad at them. Because, like, again, that's the smartest move you could ever do. There's certain things that they step on rakes in terms of, like, again, Helldivers do putting on PC is a great thing. It keeps the game alive. People love the game. They are engaged with the game. They're playing the game and they're paying for it. However, Sony step on a rake when they be like, we're going to restrict 177 countries from playing the game, which that doesn't make any sense because I'm like, why would you do that? Like you're just literally shooting your like Sony is doing like, I got this nice little silver, nice little pistol. I'm gonna start loading up clips. They should be aiming at the target and shit, but instead they're just like boom, shooting themselves in the foot. It just doesn't make any sense. Because I tell you one thing, Microsoft, if you think they're not in the business of making money, Microsoft is not in the business of making money, you are dead wrong. They are definitely in the business of making money. And they're making money how? They don't care what country you live in. They can sit there, they can care less. Long as you make a Microsoft account and you pick a region, whatever game you want to play on a Microsoft game, you can fucking go ahead and do so. They're getting any little bit of money in every sofa, every nickel underneath a couch. They don't care. They're getting it. They're turning tables. They're looking underneath fucking stove. They're moving shit. That's how you know Microsoft and Xbox are aggressive in terms of making money. They are. They're not. They will never ever in their life will turn a blind eye and be like, oh, that country over there. Oh, we're going to restrict them. They're not going to play our Halo game. They're not going to play our Forza game. What are you, stupid? They sitting there saying, no, come on in. Even on, no matter if you're on the console, PC, on a phone, or on TV, they're saying, come on in, play these games, and have fun and enjoy yourself. And it works. And they're making money, and they're not stepping on rakes. The only thing that they're stepping on rakes is like their marketing and messaging. They need work on that. And they probably have to tighten up a few little things in terms of like studio development and stuff like that. The relationship and stuff like that. They need to tighten up on that. That's the things that I can only think about that can step on rakes. Other than that, in terms of their money making stuff, they're not fucking around. And Sony needs to step up and do the same and stop fucking around. They're putting it on Switch for the Ryzen. I'm not mad about it. But again, a lot of people are like this. Oh my God. Because they're changing too, man. They're changing too. Sony is not the same Sony from the PlayStation 3 to now. And definitely Sony is not the same like from back in the PlayStation 2 and now. They're not the same. When 10 years, 20 years has passed, these corporations and stuff is going to change to chase after the money. And it just goes to show that it just proof in the pudding cup is just like, guess what? PlayStation consoles, no matter, yes, you may sell a lot more consoles than Xbox, right? I give you that, fair enough. But guess what? You guys are not enough. Microsoft sees that too, but they're not waiting and just twiddling their thumbs and pretending that, oh, we got enough players, we're good. No, they're getting the jump on it now. They're not waiting. They're not waiting. They're doing it now. They're not going to end up like the Xbox One generation. So what they did, they got the jump on it in this generation. They're 5 steps ahead. Sure, yes, did they step on some rakes here and there? Absolutely. But I tell you one thing, they are ahead of the game. They are ahead of the curve. For sure. No questions about that. No doubt. They are ahead. So, going back to Sony, I want them to make money. I want them to succeed and make games and do stuff. However, they keep on stepping on rakes. This one that they announced at the Gamer Fest, right, with some of the games that I seen, I said this is a good idea. They need money. They got a Lego Horizon game, and they said what this game is best fitted to where? Nintendo Switch. And guess what? The Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be coming out next year, the following year. So PlayStation sat there and said, if we make this game now and have it ready by 2024, when 2025 hits, they're going to be making even more money because the Nintendo Switch 2 going to come out. Then they're going to say, hey, what should my kids be playing? Oh, look, there's that Lego Horizon game. Let me buy that game for my daughter or my son or whoever, my kid. I'm going to let him play that because it looks a lot of fun and it's great. They're making money. That's a good step. They haven't stepped on a rake. That's what they should be doing. Period. So they're basically following in the footsteps of who? Microsoft and Xbox. And they already said that they are being more aggressive putting games day and date on the PC and PlayStation 5. Now that game that they just showed with Lego Horizon, they are not playing. They really are getting aggressive. And there's nothing you can do about it. These fanboys are still living in the time period like we're living back in 2008, 9, and 11. We're not living in those times anymore, 2008, 9, and 11, 12, 13. We're not living in those times. We're living in 2024. Shit is real. Shit has changed. We have been through a pandemic and stuff, locked up in the house for 2 fucking years. People are out now. Inflation went up. Money, like shit is tight. I guarantee you, a lot of people that got out of that house after that fucking thing, they probably sat there and said, what the fuck? The gas prices went up. This went up. That went up. Rent went up. Shit is real. Like, I'm a real person in real life that's enjoyed gaming and stuff like that. But even for me, I gotta keep it a buck with y'all. I can't afford every fucking game and pay $70 fucking for this shit. $70 games went up. It's $70. It used to be 60, now it's 70. PSM and PS Plus and also Game Pass, they went up too, right? Shit going up. Shit is going up. Whether it's through software, entertainment like Netflix, Hulu, whatever, them shits went up. And a lot of people are either they're working a lot more at their job or they're really cutting back a lot. And they're sitting there saying, "Look, I'm tired of this garbage shit." Just like I think people got trained by Disney because Disney keeps putting out garbage movies, garbage shit. That it trained a lot of people like me and everyone else saying like, "I don't want to go to the movie theaters and watch shit." Because you know why? Because it's garbage. It's the same garbage that they've been putting out from last year and the year before that. They don't want to continue on doing that. So they stopped going to the movie theaters. Movie theaters not getting enough money. Hollywood is not getting enough money, you know, and they're getting outbeat and outsmoked by old TV shows that came out in the 90s, early 2000s. They're getting smoked. People will much rather watch like fucking Pimp My Ride than watching the latest shit on Netflix with whatever TV shows that they have or even what Disney has. They much rather watch the old shit than the new shit. That's the crazy part. That's the time period that we're living in. A lot of shit is just a lot of garbage, a lot of woke, nonsensical garbage. People are tired of it. So people are tired of it. People don't care. People are outside enjoying their life. People stop going to the movie theaters until they get off their ass and do what they got to do to make changes. And that's how they're going to make money again. When are they going to do it? I don't fucking know. But I tell you one thing, they're going to have to do something than nothing because if they don't do something about it, you can kiss some of these movie theaters, they're going to be closing down and say goodbye. They're not coming back. They are not coming back at all. They are not. This is more like a wait and see thing. Got to wait and see. So, going back to the whole state of disaster, right? They show games on there, right? There might be, again, one or two games that I'm interested in. But the ultimate question is this is enough for me? Like again, I'm on PC, I'm retired, right? I used to have a PlayStation 1 and 2. I moved on from the OG Xbox 360, Xbox One. After the Xbox One generation, I went straight to PC. Done, right? So the real question is, like, seeing this state of disaster and all the games that they shown, right? They show interesting games. There might be one or two games in there that's like, okay, I might want to see this game. Okay, I want to play this. But ultimately, did I feel like this was like $100? No, like, is it worth $500 for this console? Absolutely not. It ain't worth it. You know, looking at it, is just not worth it. So it is what it is, though. It's just like, what can you really do? You know, it's just not worth it. It's just seeing the games and seeing how they presented it. The only thing you might say is, oh well, Astrobot. Like, look, let me tell you something. Let me give you some type of like credit, right, or whatever. Give credit where credit is due. If we were talking about like Astrobot, right? Astrobot, I will say that is a good looking game. But to be honest with you, for me, I can care less. I don't give a fuck. And I'm only speaking from my own opinion on this. The game looks good. The game looks great. If you like those type of games, hey, go right have at it. But it's not enough to move the needle to say, oh shit, I should go out to the store at Best Buy and go buy a PlayStation 5 just because of Astrobot. Like, there's no wow factor. They need to make games that are having some wow factors and stuff. If they have something like that, things might be a little bit different and it might change. But unfortunately, this is the time period that we're living in, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So Oh yeah, that's it. They got the frisbee people over here. All right. So let's talk about this one. So yeah, we've seen the state of play and state of disaster. It wasn't that bad. It was okay. Unfortunately, it wasn't good. Now going into the Xbox showcase, my expectations for that is again right in the middle. Are we going to see some games that I do want to play? Absolutely. I mean, so far what they showed at the developer direct, there's like at least 2 to 3 games I most definitely will be playing. That Indiana Jones one is one, and that whatchamacallit, a Valve. A Valve is an RPG game. Definitely going to be playing those. But, you know, like again, I'm keeping my expectations in the middle of it. Not going to overhype myself or try to be like, oh, they got to do this and this and that. Like, they don't need that much pressure. They already making money. They're a $3 trillion company, and they already bought studios. The sad part is, yeah, they shut down at least four, four studios, which is fine. Oh man, ooh, nice. He did really good with that shot. All right, there you go. There you go. How many percentage? Okay, good. You too, man. All right. So back to what I was saying. Xbox One, the Xbox Showcase. My expectations. I'm in the middle with this. The middle of this will be in terms of like again, we're gonna see some games. Sure, there's gonna be plenty of games. There's gonna be games that I'm gonna like to play, that I like to enjoy, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, good. So I don't think it's going to be a bad showcase at all. Definitely not. I know it's going to blow the water out of that state of disaster. Again, I had hopes in that state of play. I said, hey, they might show 1 or 2 games, might show a game or shooter game that's appealing and stuff like that. But they let me down on that. So seeing seeing what we see so far, right? With Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is coming into Game Pass. They have Shadow dropped it, Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 on Game Pass like last week, which was crazy. And now they are going to be showing off games, right? In the showcase and stuff like that, which is cool. And I'm liking the games that I'm seeing. Like again, we got Indiana Jones, About 2 games I'm definitely going to be playing. Definitely going to be playing Stalker 2 when it does drop on Game Pass day and date. I am going to play that. So there's plenty of games there that is pretty much, you know, oh man, they're going to have a concert. Mm, they got a concert over there. So, back to what I was saying. So, they're going to do good. So I have my hopes. So I'm not feeling like it's going to be a disappointment because they already got games that they're showing that I want to play, that I like to play, and it looks fun and it looks great. And I think that's another problem too in the gaming industry in 2024, but especially for PlayStation as well. Like again, they may show these incredible games, this incredible world and stuff like that, and is a cinematic experience. But the problem is that, to tell you a little secret, is the fact that PlayStation has lost the fun in PlayStation. They lost the fun of it. Like it's not fun anymore. It doesn't feel fun to play a PlayStation title game. Back on the PlayStation 1 and 2, you felt like those games and those titles had fun. It was fun to go on there and play these games because it was the fun of the game. Especially when the God of War series started coming out, God of War 1, 2, and then on the PlayStation 3, God of War 3, right? Those games and that God of War series was fun to play. It was fun and it visually was a treat, but it was fun to play these games. It was fun to play God of War. Look at the God of War now. Yes, God of War is a cinematic experience. It's not a bad game. You still can have fun, but it's not the same fun like in God of War 3 versus God of War 2018. God of War 3, you had more weapons, more variety, more stuff that you can do in that game, and it was a visual treat. Yes, it feels like a platformer, but it also felt like a hack and slash as well, with combos, the weapons on top of it, the different variety. It was great. It was fantastic. It was great. Really, really good. You know, however, when seeing it now, it's just not fun anymore. It's a visual treat and it's a good experience, but it's just it doesn't have the same fun factor that I felt back in the PlayStation 2 era. It didn't felt like that. It didn't felt that fun. And that's the difference between when you play an Xbox game and a PlayStation title game. I'm talking about today in 2024. Xbox game and all of their games, like playing Forza Horizon 5, feels fun to play. It's a open world racing game that me and my friends and whoever I want to play with, we can go on there and have fun all day long. We can do drag racing, sprint racing, drifting. We can go from one end of the map to the other. We can go off road. So there's no limits. The sky is the limit. Like it's you could do things in that game versus like Gran Turismo 7. Not to say it's a bad game. It's a racing sim, but you're racing on a track, right? You got all these cars and customization, and that's all cool, but you're racing on the same track, whether it's forward, backwards, if it's A track, B track, like you know what I'm saying? It's just not it's not as fun or engaging like Forza Horizon 5 or any of the Forza Horizon series. Like it's open, it's there, you pick the car, you customize it. Sure, it doesn't have the same level of customization as Gran Turismo 7, but you can't deny like there's a bunch of cars in there, street racing cars, and you can literally just go out in this world and do whatever you want. You can make a track. There's Hot Wheel DLC. Like there's so much fun in that game that people are willing to pay and play these games and pay for these DLCs. I pay for every single DLC in Forza Horizon. From Forza Horizon 3 when I first jumped into it, all the way up to Forza Horizon 5 right now, every car and DLC pack I have paid for. I paid for it. Why? Because the game was fun. I enjoy the content. I enjoy the cars. I enjoy the improvements over time. And I'm loving what the game was offering to me to do. I don't get that same feeling in Gran Turismo 7. I don't. I'm sorry. Gran Turismo 7 is more the older demographic, like more mature demographic. It's not so much of the, late demographic or not really demographic. You know what I'm saying? Or like younger demographic. It's not really for that. It's more for the older ones. the older demographics. So with that being said, right, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying, like again, it's just, I'm loving what Xbox is doing. Xbox is making games. They're making fun games to play. I'm enjoying it, and they're making a variety of games. And that's the second problem that I in the gaming industry when we're talking about between Xbox and PlayStation, that PlayStation unfortunately doesn't have variety type of games. I've been saying that from the last even insult videos and a couple of videos. Where is the variety in these games? They're starting to do that now because you start to see the Lego Horizon. They're finally like Concord is pretty much, I give them credit, like where Concord, yes, is a first person shooter game that sets, that is a live service game, sets in, it's a hero shooter, right? I give them credit because now they're starting to realize that we need variety of games. I think a lot of people like again, real gamers or even in the PlayStation fan base will even pretty much will agree with me on this, that they want to see variety of games. They don't want to see the same cinematic walking game experience. Those are fine. You can have those one or two, three games of those, but you gotta have variety because after a while, like that template is going to get played out. It's going to get boring. It is going to get played out and people are ready for that next new experience, that next new thing. No matter what, even for like again free to play games, whether if it's like we're talking about what you call it, what was that free to play game? If we was talking about not hate, no, no, no. You know, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Free to play, like again, Fortnite, for example, or Apex Legends, right? So those are free to play games and they're they're fun and stuff like that. But again, the problem is with PlayStation, they don't have no variety of it. They need first person shooter games. I haven't seen a first person shooter game on the PlayStation 5 console since the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 is long dead now. That shit is gone. Okay, PlayStation 4, there was no first person shooter games in the PlayStation 4, and I promise you that. There's none. There's not a single one. I know a lot of people will say, well, Call of Duty was at that time period on the PlayStation 4 platform was Call of Duty was basically a third party game. It was across on every platform. So Call of Duty wasn't a part of PlayStation. We're talking about PlayStation first party exclusive titles. They're lacking in variety. They need variety of games to keep afloat. And they're starting to realize that now. So they're going to try to push. It's going to be a uphill battle. It's not going to be an uphill battle where they're just going to walk up and be successful. No, it's going to be a uphill climb for this because it's gonna take a while before they're gonna find success. It's gonna be a very, very much a long time for that. So Sony has a battle to go against. So they got a battle to do. So yes, I give them credit that where yes, they're making a first person shooter game like the first time in the PlayStation 5 since forever, but they need to start cranking out more first person shooter games. Like again, I don't want them to over drown themselves with just constant first person shooters. No. Make a few. Make it appealing. That's the second thing. Make it appealing. You got Mag, you got SOCOM, you got Resistance, and you got Killzone. There's like four right there. Pick any of those four. Let whatchamacallit, if they already have Bungie underneath their belt, let Bungie take care of that stuff. Let them work and let them cook on that. Let them make I would love to see Bungie to do a remake of Killzone or even Resistance. I think they fit the bill to handle that. If they could do Halo back in the day, I'm pretty sure this Bungie can definitely handle Killzone and Resistance a remake from the ground up, something brand new, doesn't have to follow the story as the previous titles, and they could be definitely draw in some new audiences, draw in a breath of fresh air. And definitely in the lack of like shooter department, it kind of feels like they're on a decline. Like it doesn't feel like it's like the shooter kind of genre is not really reviving back. It feels lackluster. For the last couple of years, even a couple of years back, it feels really, really, really lackluster. So hopefully, this new Black Ops 6 is going to kick things off again and really push put that back up into gear. And PlayStation needs to do the same. And don't miss out on that bandwagon. Don't wait. Sony, this is the time now. Start developing stuff like that now. You know, and they need variety of games. They need it. They need an open world racing game. I've been saying that for the longest time. There is no excuse that if Xbox can do a open world racing game and a sim game, again, I'm more of an open world racing game more than the sim racing game. I'm not a sim fan. I'm not. I'm a street racer through and through. That's my heart. I'm always going to be that way. But more specifically, in terms of street racing, I'm more towards the Japan style of street racing in terms of toga racing, toga going up and down the hill, climb. That's my type of style of racing. That's the type of street racer that I will much rather be than some American version. I don't want to be that. I'm not the ones that be like, oh, do a street takeover and do donuts. That's not me. That's never be my style. My style will be the Japan version, toga racing up and down that hill, 1v1. We're going up, we're going down the hill. We're going through every turn, every crack, every penny. That's how I do it. That's how I determine. That's how I feel like if someone is a really good driver or a skilled driver. That's determined by that. That's how I will grade people. But and again, there's no excuse. Sony got the studios to do it. They just need to do it, and that's the problem. So again, in the community, I know a lot. I know the PlayStation fan base has a community, but it's very small, and their voice is not being heard because they being taken over by these the stupid ass PlayStation fanboys, um, saying some nonsense, saying this is all good, this is great, this is terrible. They need to do better. And I and and I know I'm not the only one that feels that type of way because I think my friend at the job, right? I was always talk to him about some gaming and stuff, and even he just told me that he got a Lenovo or the Legion Go. He got the Legion Go handheld, right? His first step into the PC gaming landscape. First step into it. He's like one baby step into it. He's still holding on to his PlayStation 4 and he ain't letting that go. And he's definitely not upgrading towards the PlayStation 5. And I guarantee you he saw that showcase himself. If he was that impressed, I'm pretty sure he'll say, "Yeah, I can go bring this to the store and upgrade my PlayStation 5. No problem." But he probably saw those showcases years and years back, and it was not it, Chief. It was not it. So they definitely gonna have to step up their game. I'm telling you right now, they gonna like again. He's like, yo, like I gotta get me a Legion Go. Like, everybody is going into PC. I'm telling you, I think after this generation is over, mark my words. After when the tail end of this generation is over, like it's over and done, more people are going to be moving over towards PC than consoles. I promise you that. That's what's going to happen. And we're already seeing it now. If we look back at Helldivers 2, Helldivers 2 is being played more where? PlayStation 5 console or on the PC? It's on the PC. They already have statistics for that. They got numbers. 60% of players are playing Helldivers 2 on the PC, and 40% of players on the PlayStation 5 are playing Helldivers 2. 60, 40. PC, PlayStation 5. We're seeing it now. We're seeing it now that more and more people are leaving the console space. They're either going to retire, or they're just like saying, I'm done with consoles altogether and I'm leaving the space. Or they're retiring. They're saying, after this, I'm going to whatever and just move on with my life. I don't want to play no consoles anymore. I'm done with it. It's fucking true. So, again, the PC space is coming. People are moving over to people from consoles are leaning more towards PC gaming. My friend is already getting there. He hasn't messed with it yet, but soon he's gonna start learning about it, knowing what to do, how to do this. He got a long way to go. That's his first baby step to get entering into PC gaming. He's not fully there yet, like I am. Like I've been, like again, the Xbox One generation, that whole generation, I had a pre-built and the Xbox One, and I was playing both sides. I was playing on the console and on the PC. Once I started getting used to the PC side and the landscape and all that stuff, once that started to come up, then I started to really like kind of like, hey, PC is the way to go, bro. And I sold my console. I said after this generation, after that tail end of the Xbox One generation, I said I'm out of here. I'm done. No, I'm not going to a PlayStation 4. No, I'm not going to a PlayStation 5. I'm not buying the next console. And Xbox did it. Xbox made me to feel comfortable in leaving the PC space, because ever since they announced back in 2017 that Game Pass is going to be coming towards PC, then I knew from that day from that day forward, I knew for a fact that they're going to definitely win next generation. That's in this generation. This generation, they won this generation hands down. Whether you believe it or not, or you like it or not, or you whatever, you can't deny that they set out the road tracks way back in 2017. Once Game Pass was announced and it was going towards PC as well, I knew right then and there that they are going to win next generation. And we're in 2024, halfway through, and PlayStation still hasn't shown me, give me enough reason why should I go out there and spend $500 on a console while I could be spending it on a PC. I guarantee you, even my brother at my job, Raphael, he's probably sitting there saying the same shit. Like, what will be is like he probably saw the showcase and stuff, and he's probably sitting there saying, I'm not letting go of my PlayStation 4, and I'm damn sure I ain't upgrading towards no PlayStation 5 for $500 because it doesn't look worth nothing. Meanwhile, they got the Steam Deck and all this stuff better than the Switch, and I can play Game Pass games, and all my stuff under one thing that's portable and it's on the go. Can't beat it. You can't beat it. You can't that portable stuff you can't beat than a console. You just can't beat it. Because you're getting everything that you need. You're getting Game Pass on there, you're getting Steam, you got Epic, there's so much stuff, so much access to it. You got enough shit that you could do. So again, and the options are there. That ain't going away. So with that being said, right? With that being said, I like again, I always and I said and I know I told this to my brother, and he didn't believe me. I guarantee you, he did not believe me when I said that Xbox has won this generation hands down. He was like, no way, PlayStation got this, blah blah blah. I guarantee you, 2024, he's seen what PlayStation they are doing. They're not. They're basically doing the same like Xbox is doing. They're following the same footsteps. But who did it first? Who made these decisions? Xbox laid down the pavement track from like 2017. They did that from 2017 to now. They laid down that foundation. They're already 5 steps ahead. They're they're, they're they got it. It's hands down. I know a lot of people will argue with me. Well, yes, PlayStation sold more consoles than Xbox. That is true. That is 100% true. But here's the deal. in terms of like software and sales and stuff like that, in terms of games, Xbox is taking a massive lead. The amount of games that they have released, Hellblade 2, Indiana Jones is coming out, a Valve, an RPG game, right? It's like they got, and then what else is coming out this year? Black Ops, first person shooter game. They got Gears, third person game. Like, what are we talking about? They got games and they got variety. Open world racing game, they got it. And all of these games are fun to play. And then, yes, they put 4 measly games over towards the PlayStation console because, like, again, I'm keeping that same energy. I didn't give a fuck about Astrobot. That's just personally my opinion. I know the game is good and it looks good and it's gonna play well, but it ain't my type of game. So I'm keeping that same energy with that fucking whatchamacallit, Hi-Fi Rush. I didn't give a fuck about Hi-Fi Rush. I didn't buy it. I didn't give a fuck about Grounded and Sea of Thieves. But that game been ported over to the PlayStation platform. Sea of Thieves was the highest selling pre-order on that PlayStation 5. What does that tell you? That means that a lot of those PlayStation players wants to play a fun game. They want the fun back in PlayStation. That's what they want. The real PlayStation fans, they want the fun back in PlayStation. There is no fun over there. Absolutely no fun. It's just more expensive, price hikes, all of this dumb stuff. And they're thinking that, and again, and we already see what Square Enix is doing. Square Enix says, I'm not going to take a paycheck anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. They're just like this. I'm done. I'm done taking the Sony paycheck. I'm not doing it anymore. We're not going to just keep making exclusive IPs on the PlayStation console base. They're not doing it anymore. They're getting out of that business. They're going back to third party, and they're going to put all of their games out everywhere because that's the only way we're going to survive and to make sure that we are succeeding into continuing making games for Final Fantasy and other fun games that Square Enix wanna make or whatever. So they're pretty much they're pulling out of that. They're done with that. No more of that. They are not doing it anymore, and I'm happy for them. They should not be doing that. It's ridiculous and it's retarded. They need to make some money, and they're in, guess what? Square Enix and any other corporation, any studio business publisher, they are in the business of making money. But it's up to them what they want to do. Warner Brothers, what? They lost $200 million because of what? Yeah, because of that live service garbage game that people did not want and did not like, and all the people wanted just a normal Batman game, and they will go out and buy it and pre-order it and buy the DLC. They'll buy it. They'll pay for it. But they're not going to play this garbage game live service. And that live service shit is going to come to an end. Once Grand Theft Auto 5 release, all of these live service games, I promise you, they're going to take a major hit. When I say a major hit, it's going to be a big hit. So that Concord game that's going to be coming out and it's a live service game, that's going to get trounced. And hell, it's what makes it even more scarier. I know a lot of people are trying to say, oh well, their Xbox is going third party. PlayStation has already been going third party. They already put all their first party slated games on PC. Xbox just done it first, and they already laid down the groundwork and the tracks. So a lot of those people are just like, okay, hey, this is what they want to do. This is what they want to do. We just accepted it. We thought about it and we accepted it, and that was it. We moved on. It didn't diminish us from being excited for Xbox. We still are excited for Xbox. I'm still excited for Xbox. I still want to play Xbox games more than PlayStation games. When is PlayStation going to put out a shooter game that I'm going to get excited for? It ain't going to be Concord, but when they put out MAG and they say, hey, 32v32 MAG live service game, people are going to be more interested and excited for that, and especially on the PC. That's something that I would want to play, but not Concord. It ain't it. So they're going to have to really, really step up their game, like 100%. They're going to have to. They are going to have to. and that is it at the end of the day. So it is what it is. Um, but yeah, like the Xbox showcase, like again, I'm putting my expectations in the middle. And as far as the handheld thing, that the rumors and stuff like that, if that is the case, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. I'm gonna tell you this stuff right now because I put in some thought about it. Right, I put in some thought about it. So if that handheld it was real, let's say if it was real with all the specs and everything else, right? And it's like it's on par. Let's just say it's on par on the Steam Deck, but it's its own version for Xbox. But it's on par like the Steam Deck. And you could also put in, you could also download the Steam games and the Steam library on the Xbox handheld. If that is the case, I'm telling you right now, PlayStation is definitely going to be in trouble. If you thought they're not in trouble now, they will be with that handheld for sure, 100%. Because that portable handheld that they have over there is not it, chief, and it ain't gonna cut it unless they do some major updates and overhaul to that tablet. But if they can't do it, then they're gonna be in trouble for next generation for sure, 100%. And they're competing and they're in competition. You probably saying they're not. They're competing with who? Nintendo. Nintendo will just gonna put out the bare minimum. And again, Nintendo and their audiences that they're targeting is mainly kids and family and children. They're not targeting like you and me, like mature, like whatever. I'm not saying like they can't put it out there, put a teen game and put an M for mature game. I'm pretty sure they can, right? I know they can. But the main target that they're getting is family and kids and children. That's their target. That's their target audience and demographic. That's why they protect their IP and they don't want their IP or any of their brands to be tarnished. That's why they protect it so much because they want to make sure that they don't want to end up like a Disney where they tarnish all of these Disney characters, no matter if they're animated format, but they just tarnish Disney and all of the animated characters. Now, when people go out to the store and see, oh look, there's this and Snow White and all this stuff, they said, I don't want my kids to pick up that, play that toy. No, bad. Put that shit down. Don't get that shit. Let's go get this toy over here. Let's buy a Barbie. Play that. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to end up like that. So Nintendo is smart. Nintendo is smart. Yes, they can be some real assholes, but now I understand why they doing it. They're doing it because they don't want to be tarnished. They don't want their brand, they don't want their IP to be fucking tarnished. And that's what was the problem with Sony and Xbox. Like, Xbox, tarnished the brand itself in the Xbox One generation. So they either gonna try to fix it, or they're gonna say, we're gonna kill this old Xbox, whatever there was, and they're gonna rebrand themselves something different and something new and better. Which they did. They did it with Game Pass. They killed the old Xbox back in like Xbox One generation. That's dead. That's gone. So now they rebranded themselves as this is the new Xbox era, the new Xbox stuff. This is not the old stuff no more. This is the new shit. And moving forward, they're going to make sure that they're not going to tarnish their brand or tarnish Xbox as a whole, right? They don't want to do that. They don't want to do it anymore. They want to make sure that their brand, their name, and their label is going to be protected. That's the hope. That's the thought that what they're going to do. Sony needs to follow suit as well. They tarnishing their brand now because of the fact that they have the lack of games, the lack of fun games to play. Let's put it like that. The lack of fun games and variety of games, they tarnished that because all their games was like AAA oversized budgets. Now they can't afford it and they made dumb decisions and they stepped in on rakes. They're tarnishing the brand of the PlayStation brand right now as we speak. So next generation, maybe next generation they're going to rebrand themselves as a different PlayStation era. It's not going to be the same PlayStation era back in like PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, or even the PlayStation 4. This is going to be a whole different thing. They're going to go through a lot of growing pains, but I guarantee you it's going to be a hell of a lot different. A hell of a lot different very, very soon. So, yeah, so the handheld, yeah, they're going to definitely be in trouble. Sony definitely will. Xbox, I think they're going to be very, very successful. They're going to be very successful. There's no right or wrong whether to release a handheld at this time period. The handheld stuff is picking up a lot more than they are looking at a console. Because when they look at a handheld, they said, hey, if I can play this on my TV and plug it in, and also if I got to go take a trip on an airplane, I can just take this shit on the go. So I don't have to lug a console with me to go to Puerto Rico or to another country, whatever. I can just bring my Xbox, handheld with me on the go, and I still got my games. I got my Steam games. I got all of my stuff. I'm good. And then when I get home, I can plug it into the TV. They're gonna be in trouble because it seems to me that Sony needs to get it together. So hopefully Xbox. Well, Xbox is good right now, and I don't have any type of like worried about the showcase. I think they're gonna be just fine. They're fine in my eyes. Long as they do what they got to do and they show off games and stuff like that, which they always has been, they're okay. They're they're going to be a-okay. So I got no worries. I got no like, oh my god, they're good. They're good. They're good. So moving on from there, we talked about the Lego Horizon, this that. Uh, so I think by ending this video, because there was like a lot, and I may not touch on everything, but I might do another off the top, maybe a couple weeks later, maybe talking about some of the games that we saw on these stuff. But just to wrap it up, right? To end this, I will say the games that the games that we've seen so far, halfway through the year, it seems to be lackluster, and I think Xbox is going to come in and save it. Seeing and hearing what the games and stuff like that so far, I'm pretty happy where I'm at with what they're doing. So they're gonna release those type of games this coming year. We're gonna see some new ones. I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be just fine. We're gonna have some games to play and stuff, but I'm not sure about next year. Next year is gonna be very interesting. Next year I'm gonna definitely be paying attention and also keeping my ears to the ground and seeing what I need to hear. But hopefully next year, hopefully PlayStation will get some of their stuff together. Hopefully we might see some new games next year in 2025 before GTA 6 drop. Because if GTA 6 drop, it's going to be a bad time for a lot of people. So I suggest try to drop that game as early as January if you can. I'm pretty sure that GTA 5 will have a delay because they did it in the Grand Theft Auto 5. They did a delay, 2 delays on that. So I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see that game in 2026. So it's not going to be in 2025. They're going to push that back towards 2026, probably in November or September or around October. That's my guess on it. We'll come back and we'll see if I'm spot on or not. But I'm going to take a gamble at it. I think that's what they're going to do, right? So at that time in 2025, they're gonna have to start releasing some games and stuff like that. So far, what I'm seeing in some of the showcases and stuff like that, there's some games that I'm interested in. There's some games that I do like to see and play. Um, what I'm probably going to do is I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna make maybe at the end of January, near the end of no, not January, sorry, end of June. At the end of June, then I'm probably gonna do like a tier list thing and do it a live stream at home, and then I'll just go through the tier list of some of the games that I'm interested in, and I'll do a fun video about that, and talking about the games, watching the trailers and stuff like that. Kind of like a big reaction and also a tier list thing. I think that would be kind of fun to do. Um, so if you want to join me with that, I will let you guys know ahead of time, and I'll get my list of games and stuff like that, and we'll do a little tier list, have a bit of fun. Um, and maybe I might do another live stream of me going on a shopping spree, $100 shopping spree for some Steam games, because I know Steam summer sale will be coming soon. So when they do drop that, I'm gonna do like kind of like, maybe a live stream of me like going there, surfing through some games and stuff like that to purchase and buy on the Steam storefront. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna be doing that. And yeah, Salt video is going to be coming out as well. Probably not this coming weekend, maybe the following weekend. This weekend, I will be going over the state of disaster and this Xbox showcase. Well, let me stop calling it the state of disaster. Okay, the state of play. We're going to go over those games and stuff and do a comparison with the showcase with the Xbox showcase. When like the dust really settle, and then the following week, well, I'll do a Salt video about it. I think it'll be pretty fun and funny because it's just getting wild. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I got off the top of my head. Let me know, guys, what you guys think about the gaming industry so far with the whole PC, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. What do you guys think so far? We're halfway through the year. Are you guys excited? Are you still on the PlayStation 4? Did these showcases or did PlayStation Showcase showed you that it's enough for you to go out there and buy a $500 console? If not, let me know in the comment section down below. And maybe what are your predictions on these, Xbox Showcase coming out tomorrow? So I will be doing a live stream of that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Tomorrow it's going to start at 1 p.m., so I should be up. I'm going to put my alarm clock about 12 o'clock, and I should start the stream about like a half an hour early just to get everybody in there and excited and stuff like that, and then we can do a reaction and talk about it and stuff. It'll be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have that ready tomorrow, and that's about it. Other than that, hopefully you guys enjoy this off the top video. Again, let me know what you guys think about what's going on in the gaming industry and in the comment section down below. And again, until next time, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, and enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy this lovely summer that we're having. Stay safe.